What you're about to witness will absolutely startle you and make you mad. Stay tuned, coming right up.
We're talking about a problem, Basil, that affects every woman who lives in the industrialized world, every woman between the ages of 13 and 117.
What if I were to tell you that obese individuals are deficient in fat?
Awareness, health, and environmental alternatives. Starring internationally acclaimed investigative reporter, compelled to help change people's lives. Two-time winner Crystal Awards, the man who tells it like it is, Basil Gold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Awareness. I'm Basil Gold. My guest today is John Barron, none other than the editor-in-chief of the Barron Report. Now, John walked away from pre-med 25 years ago to look for real cutting-edge nutritionals. John has studied for 25 years in nutritionals, and guess what? John is also listed in the who's who, the global who's who of business. And we are privy to have him today to speak about nutritional problems that we are experiencing in life. So welcome, John Barron.
Thank you, Basil. It's an honor to be on your show. And folks, I'd like to take a second and let you know how important this show is. The work that Basil is doing is pioneering. It's changing the consciousness of America and the world. It's vital work you're doing, Basil. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you so much for being here. I mean, I know that you have requests all the time to come on television, but let's get right into what the problem is. So many women are suffering today. Ladies, you need to stay tuned and listen to this. Men, you need to keep watching, because coming up further in the show are some things for you as well. What is it that women are suffering all these menopausal problems, premenstrual problems? What causes all this?
Okay. We're talking about a problem, Basil, that affects every woman who lives in the industrialized world, every woman between the ages of 13 and 117. And the problem is exposure to Xeno Oestrogens. Xeno Oestrogens are mostly petroleum-based synthetic estrogens that are omnipresent in the environment, in our food supply, in our water. They're sprayed on our foods and herbicides and pesticides. It's in the plastic packaging. These synthetic estrogens, there are several problems associated with them. One is your body cannot distinguish the difference between the synthetic estrogens and natural estrogens. Two, they're significantly more powerful than natural estrogens, potent in amounts even as little as 1/1000th of a gram. And then maybe the biggest problem of all is that in combination they're even more important. I'll give you one example. Chlordane, which is a common pesticide used in home gardens.
Right.
Okay. That will amplify the effect of the almost 50 petrochemicals that you find in your plastic packaging, in your water, and laundry detergents by as much as 1,600 times.
Wow. Now, women are suffering this, and they don't really know why.
No.
And doctors are prescribing estrogen for them. But we'll get into that in a little while. We have some footage that this major research that was done on the women's problems. We have some footage on that we can show today, right?
Right. We're going to talk about here, the problem is that the estrogens go out of balance, and we'll see some footage that shows you what that represents.
Okay, well, let's take a look at this footage.
Testosterone tells boys to become men, while estrogens tell girls to become women. The problem occurs when various hormones get out of balance. Estrogen, for example, is balanced by progesterone. In a normal menstrual cycle, estrogen triggers the start of the cycle, progesterone kicks in to counter the side effects of excessive estrogen, and then declines to signal the start of menstruation. When the balance of this cycle is upset by excessive amounts of unrestrained high-potency estrogens, the effects are far-ranging and disastrous. Some high-potency estrogens, such as estrone and estradiol, are produced by the body itself. But far and away the greatest problem comes from a powerful, destructive, petrochemical-based xenoestrogens. Not only are these xenoestrogens omnipresent in our meats and dairy products, grains and vegetables, and even our water supply, but they are considerably more potent than estrogens made by the ovaries.
All right, John, what I want to address, and ladies, you need to hear this, we want to address the symptoms that women are suffering. I know you're having premenstrual cramps, menopausal problems, loss of hair, tender breasts. There are so many. What are all the symptoms we have?
Quickly, some of the others. Higher risks of endometrial cancer, breast cancer, bone loss, loss of libido, sleeplessness, the whole range of problems that women have.
Osteoporosis setting in.
Yes, sir.
Now the question is, folks, you go to the doctor. What does the doctor do? From the physician's desktop guide, he recommends Premarin.
Premarin is one of the two, yes.
Provera.
That's the other one.
Tell us about those two, please.
Okay. Premarin is made from horse urine. It's a conjugated estrogen. And if you actually look in the physician's desk reference, the very first thing blocked out is a warning on cancer. And this the doctor is prescribing to you. The real question is, if estrogen got you there in the first place, why do you want more of it?
Ludicrous.
Ludicrous. So the other alternative...
What does it say right there? It tells you? How does it say?
Estrogens have been reported to increase the risk of endometrial carcinoma in postmenopausal women.
And breast cancer.
And breast cancer.
I noticed that they had breast cancer as well. So your doctor's prescribing these things, and you don't really need them. But your doctor you believe. Believe me. Believe John. This is 25 years of research. Continue on those lines, please, John.
Okay. The other alternative is Provera. Not a natural form of progesterone, a synthetic. It doesn't exist in nature. It's called medroxyprogesterone. It's made, and you need to understand this, because the pharmaceutical companies cannot patent a natural substance. So they make an artificial substance, has a whole range of side effects. Everything from acne to birth defects. Natural progesterone has no known side effects at all.
But of course your doctor could not recommend you go and get natural progesterone, because first of all he wouldn't even know where you find it. Where do you find natural progesterone?
Well, you can find it in transdermal creams available at health food stores, but you need to know which are the good ones. I think it would be worth also taking a look at this from a woman's perspective to see how the problem relates to women in particular. And we have some more video footage for that.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Okay, well then let's go to that footage and see how the woman's take on this whole thing. Okay, check this out.
PMS problems all my life, and that's anything from moods and depression, severe cramping, and in the last 10 years it's been worst of all. I would have 2 days where I can't even leave the house. It was so bad.
I've had problems over the years with PMS, raging hormones, mood swings, exploding on my husband.
I've always had extreme cramping, headaches, and depression. Right after I had the hysterectomy, I started experiencing mood swings, hot flashes, a lot of depression, and a tremendous amount of sleeplessness.
An examination of your uterus reveals significant abnormality. You're told your uterus is precancerous. Your hysterectomy is scheduled. Your uterus removed. This is absolutely and totally unacceptable. Every woman should be furious. The only natural balancer to excessive estrogen in the body is natural progesterone, not more estrogen.
So, John, what are the effects in society with all this estrogen that is being forced on women, children, us, without our knowledge?
Well, even more frightening than everything I've talked about so far, children. Puberty for young girls used to be 15 or 16, now as young as 8 or 9. You look in grade school, you'll see girls developing. Young boys, male children, almost epidemic, the number born without fully descended testicles. You talk about fertility.
Sperm counts, right
Sperm
down.
count, last 35 years, sperm count has dropped by 50%, and over 50% of all women, by the time they're 30, no longer release eggs, effectively sterile.
So how do we get a solution for the women?
Well, there's only one
You know, folks, sorry, you know that I always give the problem and the solution. There is a solution. Keep watching.
There's only one solution. There's only one natural balancer to excess estrogen in the body. It's natural progesterone.
Right.
And because of exposure to Xeno Oestrogens, you need to supplement with a natural progesterone supplement administered transdermally, absorbed through the skin.
Right. You put it on the tender spots around the breast, the thighs, and this creates the balance.
That's it.
And you have to create a balance because society is pouring the wrong things on you, so you have to balance it out.
And you will find that about 70% of all women, if they use a good cream, will experience relief of most symptoms in as little as 1 minute or less. Given a longer time, dissolves fibrocystic problems in the breast, fibroid